Hi, this is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, here today to teach you how to do grasshopper pose. One of the poses that looks sort of hard, and it really isn't. It's actually quite easy, as long as you have the hip opening. So we're going to do some hip opening stretches that are specific to this pose, and then we're going to do the pose itself, and you are going to amaze yourself. Here we go. First stretch. You're going to take one leg, I'll do my left leg, and you're going to basically take the foot just above the kneecap, and so that it's flush with your leg, and you're going to bend your bottom leg in, okay? So this is sort of like a sitting pigeon pose. Notice that my foot, the edge of my foot, is flush with the side of my leg. So if I were to take a machete and take it straight down here, it would hit nothing. Okay? A lot of people, if your hips are not too open and your leg is over here and I take my machete, you lose a foot. So you gotta be careful of my machete. Make sure that this is really flush. And if you've never been to my class, just know that there are always machetes involved, so you should really show up. Okay, so to make this one deeper, basically your bottom foot, the closer it comes to your tush and the more you lift your chest, the deeper this stretch is. Okay, so you can do that as deep as you want to. You want to get really, really deep on this one because it's this very hip opening that's going to allow your grasshopper pose to be easy peasy. Okay, here we go. So once I'm out of this, my leg comes out a little bit. I'm going to take this into a spinal twist. Now this is where the foot aligning with the leg is going to really help me out because as my left arm comes up, this is my left leg on top, and I twist, I can get my arm to the outside of both my leg and my foot. So another direction. You see how I can just get that twist right in there. If my foot were out here, there's no way for me to twist that far to get my foot in there. So from here again, I'm flush, I twist. And remember in your twist, you never want to collapse. You want to really, really lift into this twist. This is a really sweet spinal twist anyway, but most of what we're looking for is the fabulous hip opening. And by the way, if you're wondering why my armpits always smell like feet, this is why. Okay, when you're done with this twist, we're going to go ahead and take basically the same pose into standing. So when you undo it, you always want to take the bottom leg out first, just to keep that hip joint nice and safe. So I'm going to do the same setup. So I'm going to take my foot, I'm going to place it right to the edge, so there's my machete, boom, everything's safe. I take my right hand to my right hip just for some additional leverage, and as I press, I can get such a big twist that again, my armpit can go all the way in there. My hands come into prayer, okay? So a combination of pushing my hands down and opening my chest up, it's going to get that prayer right to the middle of my chest, right where I want it. And this is a sweet hip opener. Okay, coming out. So from there, we're going to go into grasshopper. Now, grasshopper, basically all it is standing on your arm. So as long as you have the hip opening, this is an extremely easy pose. So I'm just going to move over to this end a little bit. So here I go. I'm going to take my leg, I'll move over to this end. I'm going to take my leg, foot goes on, get that armpit in, there's my twist. Now from here, I'm going to take my hands down to the floor, okay? This left foot is essentially just going to stand on my arm. My right leg is resting on my arm. So, as I lean forward, my arms are just a chaturanga shell. I'm going to take my bottom foot, instead of lifting it up, I'm going to think about kicking something out to the side. So imagine there's somebody you don't really like, they're right there, and their ass is just waiting, and boom, kick it. Okay? So I'm right out to the side. This left foot is just standing on my arm. This right foot is resting on my arm. And then I can come back down. Okay, if you want to make it a little bit harder, instead of having your extended leg resting on your arm, go ahead and take it harder way to do it. You want to make it harder? Take the leg back. Move it back in. This is all core. And boom. Okay, so the main thing to remember is that everyone sort of thinks about lifting that back leg like they would in a crow, and it's not like a crow at all. Okay, instead of lifting like a crow, you want to take that back leg, kick it forward, boom. You got yourself a fabulous grasshopper pose. And that's it for today. This is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, wishing you a fabulous weekend.